I will show you how you can change your configuration file. With this configuration file you can set all the items of your Aquarta menu, but also change all the symbology of your elements. We go to your workspace and to the XFM configuration directory. There you find an Aquarta water Indonesian configuration file. We open Notepad and then we see features. This is the water node feature. If we go to the water pipe feature, you see it's divided in sections. The first sections are the property settings. The property settings are the settings for the items which are displayed in your menu. If you want to add, for example, a type of pipe, you just copy a line and edit and rename this to new pipe. And then in the pull down menu of type, this name will be displayed and will be added to the database record. The same you can do with material, or you can add a caliber menu. The material and caliber menus are connected to each other. For example, we got here the material Samar, and I don't know if it's in this list. Yes, here it is. The connection between this menu and this menu is not this word, but this word. The caliber menu has 4 columns. This is the name which is displayed, and we call this this number is displayed in your drawing. Sometimes it's the inner caliber, sometimes it's the outer caliber. The second column will have the inch dimensioning, and the third column has the, let's look for a good one. The third column is the inner side of the pipe. We need that for calculation purposes. Also the fourth column is for calculation purposes. It's the roughness of the pipe. But remember, the first column is displayed in your in your design file. So if we create a new material, new, we also must create a domain list, a new domain list. Copy. New and Of course we must change it here. Then we can change the calibers, and then there's a connection between this new line and this. This is everything you have to do to add or change materials and calibers. But when we go down to another section, we start here with the section symbology. Maybe we want to place this material on a special level. Here we choose the level. Start here. If the type of the pipe is distribution and the state is active, then this will be the level where the pipe is placed on, because these are the names of the pull down menus. Be aware that this file is case sensitive, so this must be the exact name which is written in your pull down menus. So be aware that you know where you must use the capitals. If I create a new level section, you open it, and this is not only for levels, but it is through the entire file. You open it with key, and at the end of the section you close the key section. Now you start with the key and you close it with the key. Same is for the value, and you close the value. Criteria, you open the criteria and you close the criteria. The closing can also be done for every line on the same line. We see that here in this property. Property name is type and the value is distribution. Then we close the line like this. So the level name is this name. If the next condition is true, criteria name is this. This must be a unique name, and you start always with is. Then this condition will be stored under this name. This is a function now. If it's not true, then he looks for this, and so on. Of course, we got also other symbology criteria, not only level. We can change the weight based on the caliber. If the caliber is less than 125, then the weight should be 2. The weight is 4. If the caliber is less than 300. And so we continue until we can give every diameter of pipe its own thickness in the drawing. We also can adjust the style, and we can also change the color if the pipe is in function and the type is Tidak Dunkankan or something like that. The color, and we can change all the symbology like this. Be aware that if you start editing this file, you first make a backup of this file, because when you make a very small mistake, just by forgetting, for example, this slash, then the complete program won't work. I will show you later how you can check this. If we have now placed the settings of the pipe, we must change the settings of the text that's displayed with the pipe, the caliber text. We do it in this section, annotation text, and here we got the same structure. Level, this is the level name, this is the criteria, these are the conditions, this value is distribution of the type, and the state is in function. If this is true, all the elements are placed on this level. Besides the water pipe text, we also can place leader lines. But before we continue with the leader line, I want to tell you about these sections, because they are important. Because the text style, you will find some information in another video about this. The text can be set, the text height, the text weight, and the text font can be set in a text style file. And in this text style file we can place a lot of text styles. And for placing the pipe annotation, we use the text style Aquarta pipe. So we don't have to specify the height and all those things for the text. This is the section what's displayed on your screen as text with your pipe. In this case, if you place a pipe, then he will display the caliber and the material of this element, and you can place that as text, and between that a dash, but you can change that to this: material space caliber. Okay, with this text you also can place a leader line. Also the leader line you have to specify completely with the level, the color, the styles, and so on. This is not necessary. So for all the leader lines we place the color 3, style 2. So it will be blue, and now it will be white. This was the annotation text leader. So this was the leader line. We got also a leader line for the remarks, because also the field of the remarks can be placed. And we also have leader lines for this remark. It's here. Then we go to the next session. Of course we close the feature properly, and then we go to the next section. This is the water consumer pipe, and show complete file. We got also we have also the feature water valve. When we go down at the valve, we got all kinds of annotation text for the IDs, which we can change, but in principle it's working always the same. You got your properties, you got here the menus, change the menus. Here we got the cell names. The cell names, this is in fact the cell name if the model that you choose is this. We've got here three kinds of cells. This is the actually cell name in your cell library, and this is what you see in your menu. It can be the same in most of your applications. In your own configuration files, these names are the same, but it can be different. If you use here a unique number, you can here add your own name to that symbol, and here we translate. We say make the cell active if the name in the model is this. Directly connect those two names. And you must do that for every cell. If you create a new cell, you must edit this text file and add it to the cell sections. This is especially for the valves. And when we go down, we come to the water pipe cells. These are all the remaining objects. These are the cell names in the library, and exactly as we saw in the valve cell libraries, this works exactly, or in the valve section, this works exactly the same. Of course, we can also add in this section a lot of cell names, the level of the cell, the color, the weight, the style, but also the scale. Try, if you create new cells, that the scale will always be 1 to 1 on a scale 1 to 1000. If you look at the feature leak, you now understand how we change the color if, for example, we've got a mechanical leak or a non-mechanical leak, because then we've got this section color. The value is 3, is red. Criteria leak is mechanical. If the lock mechanical is true. Otherwise the color is 2. Mechanical is false. So this is the complete section where we change the color based on if it's a mechanical leak or not. So when you want to change the color instead of red to another one, just put in a color number here. So what if there is a mistake in you made a mistake by typing? How can you solve that? Look, these are always the last lines in your file. If I double click on the configuration file, Window Explorer will open like this. Then you scroll down and you see here the last lines, which are also in your configuration file. Now we change the configuration file. I only forget /. I click it, double, and now it will open the file, and at the end we see there's somewhere a mistake, but it doesn't say actually where it is. So this is not the line, so it's very difficult to find your mistakes. So whenever you make changes to the file, just do it section by section and then check if there are some things wrong, because then you still remember where you made those changes. So never do a lot of changing in your file in one time. Just do it step by step. Save, and when I run it now, it's very simple. When you do the editing with Notepad XML, most of the times you can check if there is a mistake with that program. It's better to do it with that program than with Notepad, because this program will give you, not always, but most of the time, it points out the exact place where it's where you made the mistake. So be very careful. Okay, I hope you will be careful with editing the XFM configuration file, and this ends the video.